Star Trek: The Next Generation, Starfleet Academy, number 13, The Haunted Starship, Chapter 7. Geordi's mouth opened in astonishment. The tray fell out of his nerveless hands with a crash. His heart began racing. Silently, the unsmiling Captain Ikushima slowly raised his arm and pointed straight at Geordi. Geordi found himself frozen to the spot. He could not move or speak. Ikushima dropped his arm back to his side and continued looking at Geordi for a very long moment. Then he disappeared slowly, like mist over water. For a moment, Geordi just stood there, confused and frightened. Then his instincts took over and he tapped his communicator. "Intruder alert!" he barked. "Deck 2! The lights up and down the corridor instantly went red, and the alert signal began blaring throughout the ship. "Geordi?" Hassan called. "What is it?" "I have activated all intruder alert routines, but I would like to know why. Are you all right? What's going on?" "I'm fine, Hassan. As for what's going on..." The doors to everyone's quarters began sliding open, and Sanchez, Siobhan, and Trennick emerged into the corridor. They were all wearing sleeping gear. "What's going on, LaForge?" Sanchez asked, rubbing sleep from his eyes. "Report." "Captain, we have an intruder aboard. I just saw him." Sanchez blinked. He was fully awake now. "My communicator's still on my uniform," he said. "Let me use yours." Geordi unclipped his communicator and handed it over. "Thank you. Computer, cancel audio alert. I can't hear myself think. El Dalal, this is Sanchez. Report, please." "Captain, we are running all intruder alert routines. Nothing has been detected so far." Sanchez glanced at Geordi. "Nothing?" the captain asked. "Nothing at all?" "Nothing, sir. Internal sensors show the 5 of us aboard, and that is all." "Anything strange?" Sanchez inquired. "Energy readings you can't account for. Anything of that sort?" "No, sir, nothing." "Stand by." "Geordi, what did you see?" Geordi hesitated. "Captain..." "Go on." Geordi took a deep breath. "I saw Captain Ikushima, sir. He was standing right there in the corridor, just about where Trennick is standing now." "Right here?" Trennick asked, her eyes wide. She sidestepped half a meter to her left. "I see," Sanchez said, nodding. "Computer, cancel intruder alert." "But, sir," Geordi began. The red lights in the corridor turned back to white. "Not now, Geordi," Sanchez said, not unkindly. He returned Geordi's communicator to him. "We'll talk about this in the morning. Go get some sleep." "Am I dreaming, or is that an actual sandwich?" Siobhan said, pointing at the coffee-soaked mess on the deck. "Did Geordi's ghost bring it here with him?" "I'll clean this up right away, Captain," Geordi said. "Good night, everyone." The others said their goodnights and returned to their quarters. Geordi heard Siobhan mumble something to herself as the door closed behind her. Geordi went to the galley and found a broom and a dustpan. He returned to where he dropped the tray and began sweeping. He knew it was silly, but he kept looking over his shoulder as he worked. When he was finished, he returned to the galley, dumped the trash into the recycler, and put the broom and dustpan away. Geordi knew there was enough food left to make another sandwich, so he did so. Tray in hand, he headed for the turbolift again. This time, nothing unusual happened on the way. The lift brought him quickly to the bridge. Hassan turned in the command seat as the door opened. "Geordi, what is it now?" Geordi indicated the tray. "I still owe you a snack." "Ah, thank you. I thought that perhaps in all the excitement..." "I didn't forget." Geordi handed the tray to Hassan. "A sandwich? Where did you find this?" Hassan said, taking a bite. "Turkey. Glorious. I wasn't aware that anything like this was on the supply list." "It wasn't. I just knew where to look." "Well, it's a good thing you did." Hassan paused. "You're not eating?" "I'm not hungry anymore." Hassan nodded. "Geordi," he asked, "what happened down on deck 2? "I don't know, Hassan. I saw Captain Ikushima standing in front of me, pointing at me, or at least I thought I did." Hassan nodded. You understand that there are no such things as ghosts. I know that, of course, but I saw him. Hassan, he looked real, too, right up to the time he faded away. He faded away? As if he were being beamed off the ship? Perhaps it actually was an intruder of some sort, a real one. No, Geordi said, shaking his head. Captain Ikishima just slowly disappeared. I've never seen a transporter do anything like that. Nor have I, Hassan admitted. He sighed. Perhaps you should rest now, Geordi. It has been a long day. I will see you again at the morning watch. All right, Hassan. Good night. Geordi turned and left. Hassan watched as the turbolift door closed behind Geordi. He shook his head sadly. Geordi must have been seeing things, and seeing things would buy Geordi a one-way ticket out of Starfleet Academy. Geordi's career would be over before it began. That'd be a shame, but Hassan had seen other cadets washed out of the Academy for similar reasons. Trennick's close call earlier today must have rattled him more than we thought. Between that and all the Ikishima research he did today and standing watch and engineering by himself, it was too much for him. Hassan shook his head. He felt bad for Geordi, but he knew there was nothing he could do for the first-year cadet. Hassan put down the sandwich Geordi had made for him and turned his full attention back to his work. He wasn't hungry anymore either. Chapter 8. Geordi reported for the morning watch promptly at 0700 hours. It was easy to do since he hadn't really slept. No sooner had Geordi seated himself in front of the assistant engineer's console than Sanchez called for him. Cadet LaForge, please come see me. I'm in my quarters. Aye, sir, Geordi replied. To Hassan, he said, Well, I guess I already know what the captain wants to talk about. Hassan could not look at him. I suppose so, he replied, his eyes fixed on the console before him. Geordi waited for a moment as if he expected Hassan to say something else. When he didn't, Geordi cleared his throat. Well, I guess I'll be on my way, he said a little uncertainly. See you later. Hassan merely nodded, not knowing what to say. A little disappointed, Geordi left the room. Come in, Sanchez called, and the door to his quarters slid aside. Geordi found the senior cadet seated at his study module. He had accessed the overnight sensor logs and was going through them. Morning, Geordi, Sanchez said. Have a seat. Morning, Captain. Thank you. Have you found anything? Sanchez shook his head. No, he replied. Not that I haven't been trying. I can account for the whereabouts of everyone on the ship at all times since we set out from space dock yesterday. I've been through the logs 3 times, Geordi, and I can't find anything wrong. Tell me again exactly what you saw and when. Yes, sir. It was 20 to 58 hours. I had just finished my watch in engineering. Hassan was on the bridge. I checked in with him to say I was going off duty and that I was stopping by the galley to get something to eat. I asked him if he wanted something too, and he said yes. I told him I'd bring it to him. So you went to the galley. Did anything happen in there? No, sir. I found some food in the storage unit, made a couple of sandwiches. I saw the remnants all over the deck. Turkey, weren't they? I was surprised to find there was anything like that aboard. Geordi told him about the cargo handlers and their usual practice of bringing their own food and snacks with them when they worked. Sanchez chuckled. I'll keep that dodge in mind for next time, he said. I'm not as big a fan of Starfleet rations as I claim to be. All right, then. So you made the sandwiches and poured the coffee, put everything on a tray, left the galley, and headed for the turbolift. That's right, Geordi said. That's when I saw Captain Ikishima. He was in the corridor, on the spot I showed you last night. He stood in front of me and pointed at me. He looked straight at me. He seemed sad and alone. Then he stopped pointing at me and disappeared. The rest you know. What'd you see to make you think he was a ghost? Begging your pardon, sir, but I never said I saw a ghost, Geordi replied. I said I saw Captain Ikishima. Siobhan called it a ghost, not me. Captain Nikoshima's been dead for more than 170 years, Geordi. I know that, sir. I can't explain it. Sanchez gestured at the data screen on his study module. Neither can I. The sensor logs don't show a thing, Geordi. I don't mean to sound insensitive, but have you checked your visor to see if anything's gone wrong with it? Geordi nodded. That's the first thing I did when I returned to my quarters, sir. I ran all the self-tests. Everything checked out fine. Sanchez nodded. You know, Geordi, he began slowly, you had a pretty strenuous day yesterday. It was all pretty exciting, and you must have been very tired when you finally went off duty. Is there any possibility, any at all, that you had a walking dream? Very tired people do sometimes microsleep for only a second or two, even while they're walking around. Oh, excuse me. Good Lord. I'm sorry. Allergies. Okay, where am I going? So say again. Very tired people do sometimes microsleep for only a second or two, even while they're walking around. If you did that, you might have been likely to see anything. No, sir, Geordi replied firmly. I was tired, but not that tired. I was fully awake and aware at all times. You might not have realized you weren't, Sanchez continued. Think about it. Geordi did. No, sir, he repeated after a moment. There's no possibility I was dreaming. Sanchez nodded. Okay, I accept that. He paused, looking uncomfortable. I want to go off the record with you now. Yes, sir, Geordi said. There's no way I can keep this matter out of the log, Geordi. There was an intruder alert declared. The computer has recorded it. There will have to be a report made about it when we get back to the academy. I understand that, sir. Sanchez sighed. Look, Geordi, not only have you pulled more than your full weight on this trip, but you saved Trennick's life yesterday. We'll all be in your debt forever, not just Trennick, but all of us. Nobody, especially me, wants to see you hurt by whatever happened on Deck 2 last night. I understand, Captain, Geordi said firmly. The review board will say I was seeing things. I may be washed out of the academy. He did not add that he'd been up all night thinking about that. Sanchez held up a hand. The review board won't do anything of the sort if we log this matter as I see it. That you were exhausted after a very trying day, that you fell asleep briefly while you were waiting for the turbo lift, and that you only dreamed you saw Captain Ikoshima in the corridor. Startled and confused, you suddenly awakened and called the intruder alert. The review board will understand completely. Some of the members may even laugh a little, but no harm done. Your Starfleet career won't be affected at all. You'd be willing to do that? Geordi sounded surprised. Yes, I would, since I believe what I'm saying is the absolute truth. I think everything happened just the way I said it did. I want to help you, Geordi. We all do. Let us. Geordi sat quietly for a moment. Could things have happened the way Sanchez thought they did? Did I really fall asleep for a second or two? Did I only dream that Captain Ikoshima appeared before me? The answer was clear. Geordi took a deep breath. No. Thank you, sir, but no. I can't lie. Not to you, not to my other shipmates, and not to Starfleet. I'm certain that I saw Captain Ikoshima in the corridor, and that I was fully awake when I did. I don't know what it means, but I know what I saw. This may get you thrown out of the academy, Geordi. I know, sir. Sanchez nodded. Very well. I'll log your report of the incident just the way you gave it to me, but I'll have to add that no one else aboard can confirm the sighting. That's all, LaForge. Report back to engineering and finish your watch. Aye, sir. Thank you, sir. Don't thank me, Geordi, Sanchez said, shaking his head. I just bulldozed your career. Geordi left. A minute later, there was a soft knock on the door. Come in, Sanchez called. It was Siobhan. He didn't go for it, she said flatly. I can see it in your face. No, Sanchez said. No, he didn't go for it. He insists that he saw what he saw. I'll have to log his version of the incident just as he first stated it. Jeez, a ghost. That'll go over real big with the review board. Siobhan nodded. Just on a hunch, I took a look at the holoprojector in the galley, she said. I figure it's the only gizmo aboard the ship capable of throwing an image that might fool someone into thinking he'd actually seen a ghost. After all, Geordi said he saw Ikushima last night right after he left the galley. Oh? Find anything out? Just that no one's touched the projector since Geordi's presentation yesterday, and in any case, it's not nearly powerful enough to cast an image outside the galley. I guess I thought that someone might be playing a practical joke on the rest of us. Sanchez almost laughed. Who? Hassan? I don't think it's in him. Trennick worships Geordi. And it sure wasn't you or me. His friend shrugged. I wasn't being terribly logical, Siobhan said. I just don't believe Geordi's the kind to make things up or hallucinate. I also think he knows the difference between being asleep and being awake. He's from a family of Starfleet officers. If he called an intruder alert, he had a good reason. I wish I could believe that, Sanchez said. But I have to go by the facts as we know them. We all understand that, Bernie, Siobhan said. All of us do, including Geordi LaForge. Yes, Geordi understands. He'd make a fine officer someday, but now he'll probably never get the chance. It's a shame. You tried to save him, Bernie. It wasn't enough. Sanchez sounded very tired. Excuse me now, Siobhan. I've got a log entry to make. The rest of the morning watch went very slowly for Geordi. Hassan didn't say a single word to him that was outside the line of duty. The situation made Geordi very uncomfortable. He felt as if he were an unwelcome guest. I'll be glad to get back to space dock tomorrow. Geordi had an hour free between the end of the morning watch and lunch. Under other circumstances, he might have wandered through the ship and looked things over, but today all he wanted to do was go to his quarters. He thought he'd get some studying done, even if it didn't really matter. He wondered just how long he would be permitted to remain at the academy. He'd been at his study module for almost the entire hour when there was a knock at the door. Yes, Geordi called. The door slid aside. It was Trennick. Can I come in? Sure, have a seat. I was just reading, but nothing's making a whole lot of sense. He turned off the monitor and sat back, swiveling his seat so he was facing the Andorian cadet. What's up? She shrugged. I just wanted to see how you were, she said. Everybody's worried about you. For a second, Geordi looked sad. I know they are, he told her, and I appreciate it. Siobhan says the captain offered to let you off the hook this morning. He did, Geordi said. It was good of him, but I couldn't accept. He thinks I was asleep and dreaming, and I know I wasn't. I can't lie, especially not on the ship's log. It's just not right. No, it's not, Trennick said, nodding. I understand, Geordi. Look, if you ever need someone to talk to, a friend, I'll be there for you, whatever happens. She got up to go. We'll see you at lunch, won't we? Sure, Geordi managed to smile. Wouldn't miss it. I'll be there in a few minutes. Okay. As the door to Geordi's quarters rolled slit. What? As the door to Geordi's quarters slid, Trennick suddenly turned back and said, Geordi, if they throw you out of the academy, they're absolutely crazy. She suddenly looked a little embarrassed and, turning, hurried away down the corridor toward the galley. Geordi's eyes widened with surprise. Then, despite everything, he smiled. He suddenly felt good for the first time all day. Lunch consisted of rations that were colored red and white, which Captain Sanchez ate with every appearance of gusto. He told himself he was doing so for the sake of ship's morale. By common consent, since not enough of the real food Geordi had found in the stasis unit remained to share around. None of them took any of it. Trennick had the afternoon watch on the bridge, but had tied into the galley via the communicator link. No one mentioned Geordi's sighting of the night before, but clearly it was on everyone's mind. At one point, intending to ask Geordi to pass the salt, Hassan had said, "Geordi, please hand me the ghost." After a shocked moment, everyone had laughed, including Geordi. Hassan looked very uncomfortable afterward, though. Siobhan was talking about the changes she'd made that morning to their course. "I've tightened our search loops somewhat," she said. "We're no longer traveling our entire assigned sector end to end. Our automatic charting systems have finished doing the more thinly populated part of our sector, so I'm having us concentrate on this limited area where most of the asteroids are. We'll be looping in and out of this subsector until we head back to Space Dock tomorrow. I'm sure we'll get the entire job done in time." "Good," Sanchez said. "Anything interesting you'd like to share with us?" Siobhan nodded. "We've made a few interesting finds," she said. "We've located a couple of good-sized asteroids containing large stores of heavy metals. The old-time miners would have gone nuts about them. As it is, some scientist types might want to take a closer look at some point. Oh, and we've placed a beacon on a big asteroid that we calculate has a 6% chance of leaving the belt and heading sunward sometime during the next 30 years. That one may turn out to be the most important find we make during this trip." Trennick spoke up on the communicator link. "Are we going outside again, sir?" "You're not," Sanchez replied firmly. "Not this trip. Sorry, son, but you suffered a nasty decompression accident yesterday. You haven't fully recovered yet." "Yes, I have, sir." "No, you haven't. But I feel fine." "I know you do," Sanchez said. "The triox you took has been helping, but you still need a few days to recover fully. If you should have another accident outside, even one that's not nearly as bad, you'll suffer far worse physical damage because you're in a weakened condition. I can't allow you to take the risk. It's just not necessary." "Yes, sir." The disappointment was clear in her voice. "I won't be going outside either. I'll be helping McKenna get the maps and charts we've made so far in order. LaForge, I'd like you to remain on watch with Hassan and engineering. There must still be a great deal for you to do down there." "Yes, sir," Geordi said, glad to still be useful. "There certainly is. There's always a lot more to learn." Sanchez looked over at Hassan. "I trust that suits you?" Hassan hesitated for a second and then said, Of course, Captain." "Very well." Sanchez looked around the table. "I see we've finished our lunch," he said. "Good, too, wasn't it? Love the red and whites. Now let's get back to work."